Hello, welcome back. GovDoc Breakdown, no opinions, just facts and summaries of government documents, and we let you take it from there. Alright, today we are jumping forward in line and checking out a Supreme Court case that you've probably been hearing about dealing with birthright citizenship, but it's not really about birthright citizenship, it's about universal injunctions with the federal lower courts. So, let's check it out. June 27th, Supreme Court opinion, Trump v. CASA. What we have here is dealing with the executive order having to do with challenges to the 14th Amendment in relation to birthright citizenship that the president signed when he came into office and legal challenges to that executive order. And just to give you guys an idea of what the 14th Amendment says, this is a direct quote. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. So, there were 3 lawsuits brought in federal district court in the states of Maryland, Massachusetts, and Washington, all challenging this executive order, saying it would affect various parts of the country in bad ways. In each of these cases, the federal district judge issued a universal injunction on the executive order signed by the president. The president's administration obviously appealed these injunctions, but were denied by the circuit courts, and this led them to seek emergency relief from the Supreme Court. So, what the Supreme Court did, there were 3 cases in particular they lumped into Trump v. CASA to address this procedural question: whether federal courts had the authority to issue universal injunctions that block the enforcement of a federal policy nationwide beyond the specific plaintiffs in the case. And remember that, beyond specific plaintiffs in the case. So, the government's position, being argued by Solicitor General D. John Sauer, is that these universal injunctions exceed the equitable authority granted to federal courts under the Judiciary Act of 1789, which is awesome. You guys should check it out. Very interesting because this is the act that basically establishes the current federal court system that we all operate under. And it was in 1789. So you think about it, there's probably a time in the country where we had no federal court system. So it kind of shows how strong states' rights were back then, and they didn't rely so much on the federal government, which is interesting. All right, back to the case. Let's hold off there. The government also argues that the text of the Judiciary Act of 1789 limits the court's power in providing relief only to the named plaintiffs, not to non-parties across the country. So basically, only the people involved in the case can receive relief.
Full video located on our channel.